I am now ready to conduct my first gravity feeding. So the first thing I want to make sure is I have everything ready to go before I start. I've got my room temperature water, room temperature formula, my gravity bag, syringe, and hand sanitizer. I will wash my hands first. Open my gravity bag. And then prepare my gravity bag. Need to make sure that the blue roller clamp is rolled down so that the tube is in the closed off position, or that the clamp is rolled to the bottom. And then open the cap of my bag and pour in my amount of formula. Once I've poured in the amount of formula I desire to feed, I will then take my feeding tube and squeeze the bottom of the drip chamber until the formula fills the bottom quarter of the drip chamber. I can then close the cap and hang my gravity bag on the IV pole. I will then prime my bag by first removing the cap from the end of the bag and slowly opening the roller clamp to allow the formula to drip through. When the formula reaches the purple tip at the end of my feeding bag, I will then close the blue roller clamp until I'm ready for feeding. My formula has now reached the end and I am ready to close off the clamp and prepare for my flush before I complete my feeding. So I will then take my feeding tube, clamp it off, and open the cap, connect my syringe, and flush my 30 to 60 mils of water. I can do this either by using my syringe as a funnel or by first drawing up the water and pushing it in. Once my water has infused, I will then reclamp my feeding tube, remove my syringe, and insert the purple tip of my feeding bag. Once I feel I have formed a secure connection, I will then unclamp my feeding tube and then adjust the rate that I desire my formula to flow by using the blue roller clamp on the bag tubing. Typically, I choose to start my feedings with the blue roller about halfway, and then I can adjust it or slow it per my tolerance. I will then allow my feeding to complete. At the end of my feeding, I will then remove the purple cap, of course clamping my tube first, give myself a 30 to 60 ml flush, and complete my feeding. I will then take my gravity bag over to the sink, rinse it out until I'm ready for my next feeding, or if it's at the end of a 24 period and it's time to use a new bag.